In my own opinion, I would say when they've experienced life for themselves, maybe after university, when they worked for a while and they know what it actually means to make money, then I can expose them to what I have, so that I'm sure that when they have access to funds, they don't misappropriate it.
But the fact that they are working does not mean they know how to manage funds.
Yes, I know, but what I said is at least you worked, you know what it means to work to make money, right? So that way, when you now have access to funds, you don't necessarily misappropriate the funds.
Yeah, in my own opinion, I don't think I will have to delay my child to suffer before they will have access to my wealth. Even while they are in school, they should have their own bodyguard. They should have a personal car that they will be taking.
Why should they have a bodyguard?
That would be a sign that this boy belongs to a certain class in the society. That is what I think. My children should enjoy my money. So what am I working for?
Of course, they are working, but because they are making them enjoy your money, they don't know how to make this money themselves.
So it's because I have suffered on their behalf.
So they should not suffer.
Yeah,
of course, we get that they should not suffer. And I'm not saying my children should suffer, but let them also know what it takes to work for this money. Personally, I would not expose my child to my wealth until I am sure that this child can make money for themselves. That is where me I stand.
And then the thing is, because they have access to your money, does not mean they will not also work.
No.
Because there are lots of rich people, even though they grew up wealthy, they make their own money.
Sure.
Lots of people. So I think they are just thinking that, oh, if I give this person access, it means you're assuming that your child is going to be a spendthrift. And that's a bad assumption.
I think you need to know the stories of those rich people's children who have also grown up to make their own money. Money is a reward for solving problems. So you need to learn how to solve problems to make this money. So it's not something that you can just acquire alongside with the wealth. You need to be trained on how to make money.
I think that when you know that you have access to money, sometimes you are more innovative. You want to try out new things. You want to start up businesses because you have capital. So that way you can eventually find your own niche. Once you've tried 2-3 different businesses and then they don't work, you eventually find something you like. But you have those options to try out different things because you have money. Or because you were exposed.
Then in addition, my wealth will also give my children to fit into a kind of their own class. Now, assuming I'm sending them to UK to school, outside the country. From there, they will also form their own class.
And then
from
the people
there,
that they will
exactly,
friends.
they have influence. They meet different kinds of people.
You know that most children that are like that never really try to make their own money. They just assume that their parents have money, so they can do what they want to do, squander the money they like, how they want, and then call their parents to give them money again. I don't think they actually take time to work for that money.
For me, I will expose them to my wealth even very early, so that at least they will know who they are. They will know where they belong to in the society. Because even if you look at the country that we are, only the strong survive. So you have to put that in their mind from the beginning. Give them whatever resources they need to exist. That is my point.
Speaking about class, creating a class for yourself comes with a cost. So you just mentioned that your children will, because of the kind of environment they are growing up and the kind of friends they meet, all of these also come at a cost. So for me, I think the key thing here is those children should be taught how to make money, learn how to do business, learn how to also grow this money. You are not just working on you are not just going to fund your own idea with your own parents' fund. You could also go out there, raise loans to fund your business, and that way you'll be able to manage that business and then make profit. But if you are funding your own idea with your parents' resources, I really don't see you contributing or growing the wealth that your parents are exposing you to.
Okay, so let's assume that like you said, they go out, they take a loan, start a business, it doesn't work out, they take another loan. You have money. So your child
So
is in
why are you
debt.
going through all that?
So the truth is, by the time you are taking a loan to start a business, I think you learn to manage the resources better than when you know that, oh, if I don't do this business properly, my parents will give me money to start another business.
And don't forget that money has a cost. So even though it's your parents' money, the fact that you have it free of charge does not mean that that money is free. So going out there to collect loan will make you know that there's a cost attached to every money, and then that will help you to manage that resources very well.
I think many people have started their own businesses or their platforms using loans or money from their parents. You must not really struggle before you know how to manage money. You must not go through the same stress that your parents went through when they were growing up to start whatever it is you want to start.
And they don't even need to see it as their parents' money, because whatever I have belongs to them. So it's still their money, and that will give them the kind of knowledge to know that I need to manage.
Please, it's not their money. Personally, it's not their money.
Why is not their money?
They didn't work
their
for
money.
it, please. Let them go and work for their own money, make their own money,
Already working
and
for
spend
them.
it.
Oh,
on
but if you were
their
to
own
write,
So-
let's assume that you write a bill and say, oh, it's for my children.
So it
And
is
what-
their, it is
like
theirs.
Yeah,
But as long as the parent is alive,
It's not
the
their
money is
It's-
not theirs.
Yes.
The money still
parents'
belongs to
money.
their parent. So when the will does not become effective until the parents die.
Right.
So as long as the parents are alive, the money does not belong to those children, it still
Thank
belongs
you.
to their parents. And so they need to understand that.
I would say what is mine is yours. I am going through this stress for something, for my children.
Yes.
So why do they have to
Because
wait
of them.
until I
So-
die first before they can actually enjoy what I have worked for?
This only applies most of the time to Nigerians every
No,
time.
you have
And
people
not
who
to-
have trust funds.
No, have you noticed that some people outside of Nigeria, let me put it that way, they don't even will anything to their children. Maybe they put it as, oh, when they die, everything goes to charity. Haven't you heard of that?
But I think that's a
Yes,
handful
it's
out
very
of what
possible.
people.
Sorry?
That's like a handful.
That's not true. There are a lot of people that want their children to actually go through the stress, learn to make this money, and learn to manage this
As
money
for me, I will
themselves.
not allow my
You
children.
see, for a parent, an average parent, I think the primary responsibility of a parent is to train the children.
Yes, guide
So
them.
once you have trained them, they have that responsibility to also develop themselves, make their own money. I won't be responsible for training my children, and at the same time, I want to also help them go through life. You can't really achieve that. They need to understand life for themselves, and the only way you can do that is by instilling financial discipline in them, and also give them the knowledge. Some of this knowledge that you have acquired over the years, you can transfer those knowledge into them so that they can also use that to build their own life.
But you can do that while also giving them access.
That will be difficult. It's possible, but it's going to be very difficult, because if I have access to everything I need at every point in time, then it will be difficult for you to ask me to still try to make money.
Okay, so we'll be talking about wealth things. What if it was the other way around? If you're not so well to do, I'm sure immediately the child grows, you're like, we don't have money. So you have to have
Yeah,
money.
you let them know.
See, let me tell you the
You don't
truth.
need
You
to
don't
hide
need to
anything.
even tell them that you don't have money. Children that don't have money, they already know. They don't need anybody to say, oh, come, my child, this money is not available. They don't need that form.
Sometimes you don't know, like especially when you're shielded. Let's say you're in primary school, secondary school, you think that my parents should be able to afford this. So I am surprised that they can't afford this. So that you will now sit down as a parent and tell them, we don't have money. So why should it not be the same?
Exactly.
If you're
Well,
well,
we're not talking about poverty.
I don't think you are talking
Why-
about poverty.
Maybe we should define poverty in this case.
So as for me, children should be exposed to wealth as soon as possible. So they know that they have options, they have something to fall back on in case of an emergency or if something were to happen. Because the same way if you were poor, you tell your child on time that you didn't have money. That's the same way you should tell your child that you're wealthy.
Because if we're talking about poverty, that means there is nothing.
You don't have.
As in,
You
there
don't
is
have.
nothing. You don't even need to
can
tell
barely
your
afford
child.
3 square meals. So the children, everyone will be able to see. So you really don't need to tell them
Yes,
about
they
that.
can already see it.
I still stand by expose your child to your wealth as soon as possible. Give them the platform that they need to thrive. They don't have to go through the same struggle that you did. And also, the fact that you expose them to your wealth does not mean that they will mismanage your funds, or does not mean that they don't have they are not financially literate.
Yeah.
So that way, and that is why you really need to train them. You don't just like giving a 3-year-old child a knife without telling them, without guiding them through. So releasing money or wealth to a child that does really not know what wealth is all about and how to manage wealth would just squander the money, and at the end of the day deplete the fortune of the family. Like I told you, for me, my children will be exposed to my wealth as soon as possible, although initially with a managed access, and until they have been able to understand the art of money making, and then have been able to inculcate adequate financial discipline. In my view, like I said, I believe that you should expose your children to your wealth as soon as possible. But after you have been able to bring them up, maturity, like I said, is key. They need to be mature to handle whatever you are handing over to them. And in addition to that, financial discipline is key. You can't really manage money if you don't have discipline.